Joining us right now is the man who moderated that conversation, recounts the Icahn Ackman saga in a very cool new book, our own very own. Scott Wapner, CNBC anchor and author of When the Wolves Bite, Two Billionaires, One Company, and Wall Street's Most Epic Battle. Good morning and congratulations.
Good morning. Thank you so much. It's great to be here with you guys.
How did this all happen? When did you decide you were going to do this?
It happened because of what happened on CNBC. I had been thinking about, all along, I sort of lived this story as it developed, ended up covering it from kind of both sides. And I kept thinking I should write a book. And a few important people in my life prodded me to do it. And I finally did it. And that was, in
it's a great drama.
Mid-16. So it took a year, and here we are.
What was the moment? Is there a moment you thought you've discovered and you said, wow, I didn't realize that?
There was a lot.
You knew a lot.
I knew a lot, but I discovered a lot through my reporting and the fact that I spoke with Bill and Carl for the book and Herbalife as well. Herbalife participated in a way that I wasn't sure that they would. And I learned a lot about how they fought back.
Scott, back up a little bit for people who maybe weren't following along from the beginning on this whole thing. How did it all happen? Because it all happened on our air.
It did. So, the whole thing happened where Bill Ackman had a special event where he rented out the AXA Center on the west side of town here, and he held this special Irisone event, and he laid out his $1 billion short, and everybody was like, oh my God, this is, the guy's got $1 billion on the line. He's gone public in a way that few people have ever gone public on such a big short. It just so happened that Icahn and his people were watching what was going on with Herbalife at the time. The fact that Ackman had knocked the stock down so much. Those guys had had a long simmering feud for a decade and saw an opportunity. And that caused the battle and the brawl that unfolded on our air on January 25th, 2013.
So have you heard from these guys yet?
A little bit.
A little bit?
They haven't seen the book yet.
They haven't seen the book yet, so we don't know. And who do you think comes out? We know who comes out the winner, right? By default, right. Carl is the winner.
Right. History's history, right? You can't rewrite the story with a different ending. The story has somewhat ended the way it has. Bill recently got out of the position completely. Carl walked away. I mean, Carl's still in the stock, best I know, and he's made $1.2 billion on this particular investment.
And what's their relationship like now? Because even just 2 weeks ago,
it's probably better than it's ever been, give or take a few hiccups along the way. But they spoke. You're referring to remarks that Bill made at the active passive event last week. But Bill called Carl after that and tried to sort of smooth things over and tried to make it clear that he didn't mean anything derogatory or as a slight.
I mean, he swings for the fences. He's like Shakespearean almost. I think about some of his calls. I mean, the way he went into the Valiant deal. I mean, that was unheard of, to go in and build a position and talk. And then there was.
Which was happening at the same time.
I'm still short the Hong Kong dollar, or either long or short. I don't remember which it was, because they were going to depeg it from the yuan.
He laid out.
He had 106
He laid that out with you, didn't he?
He had 106 slides to do that, and it never happened. I would have lost my. And then there's pennies and Target and everything. He swings for the fences.
The Valiant thing is interesting. It was happening at the same time that all this was going on. I get into that as well. Icahn was hot and heavy in Apple as this was going on, so I get into that as well. I think there's surprising things
before we get. I mean, this is like never done. This is never done. This is for him. He can have
It's a present.
Just take it, open it up, because it's never done. It's been given out very, very few times.
I really appreciate that.
This is show it on CNBC Squawk
Book Award
with the homemade year.
With the homemade.
Did you do that? Did you do that?
I put that on there for you, and
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Did you show it to? I mean, that is.
Look at that.
An official.
Look at that.
Before we go,
I don't know what else you'll get, whether the rewards, but that's gonna.
Is it whiteout, or is it whiteout on there, or what?
How is history going to measure Carl Icahn, and how is history going to measure Bill Ackman? Long term.
I think it's going to be complicated for Bill. I think Bill. There was a period of time where Bill had a number of incredible successes. He had built up this amazing reputation, and more recent history is going to define him by Valiant in some ways and Herbalife.
Can he ever get back to being in the same sentence with Carl? I mean, in terms as an investor?
I don't know if he'll ever be back running the kind of money he had $20 billion under management not all that long ago.
Right.
And here we are talking about a different person.
One of your big fans,
Yeah.
and he CC'd Nigerian and Reform Broker. He put them all on there.
Oh, he did?
Wondering if the important person in your life that inspired you was your elevator operator.
No. No.
I'm thinking your
The
wife.
invisible one? Right.
No, but it's
You know, Andrew asked me earlier who comes out ahead. In some ways, Herbalife is the one that ends up coming out ahead.
It's a $100.
The stock's at $100 today. It lived through this entire battle. CEO is no longer there. He's moved on. But Michael Johnson sort of walked off into the sunset after this whole thing happened, after this incredible struggle.
The book is called When the Wolves Bite.
Who's
I'm not being paid to
RSVP?
say this. It is a really great book. I really think it's terrific and spectacular. We will see about that.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.